Welcome back, guys. And we are going to be doing a overview review of my cold weather survival pack. We're not on any kind of training mission today, but I got some gear that I'm gonna be testing out, and I figured I'd bring you guys along and we would check it out together. Right now, just hiking into the forest, giving you guys some shots of the survival rig that I'm wearing right now. We're in a different forest today. We're in a forest full of hedgewood, so it's a much harder wood, and the temperature is mid-20s. It's supposed to be a high of 34, but that's not until like 3 o'clock this afternoon. So right now it's morning time, just a little after 8, and we need to get a fire going. That's the first thing I want to do, is get a fire going. Gotta have a fire. So what I'm doing now is I'm searching for some hedgewood that's fallen down, because out here where I'm at, that's all we can cut. And I'm going to show you how my kit works, my fire kit, with this rig I have. Right now I'm getting ready to pull off my Silky big boy saw. And this is the first item from my survival rig that we're going to go over. We're going to go over this first part right now. And this is for my fire making. And right now I have a big boy because it's big, and this is what you need for cold weather. Yeah, that's hedge that I'm cutting. This is very, very hard wood, but burns very, very hot. No pine out here, no spruce, nothing soft, no just no red cedar really at all either. Maybe a few, but not very many. So here we got my saw. And this is my main component to my fire kit that's part of this cold weather survival rig. Yeah, look at that stuff. That stuff is dense. Well, I'm going to go ahead and bring the wood over, and then I'm going to move on to the next part of my fire kit of this rig. That was a little bit heavy too. Oh man, yeah, getting a little sweaty with that merino wool cap on. All right, here we go. Here is the Ontario SP8, and this is part of my fire kit as well. This is my large cutting tool. I use it for batoning mainly. And you know, you're not always going to be out in the forest where there's pine and spruce. There's real small twigs that you can use. So this forest we're not. So more batoning. So this is batoning right here for all of you that don't know. And I will put a link up in the screen. I have a video on this knife batoning through all kinds and sorts of different woods. And this knife here is a beast. And that's why it's part of this kit. Right now I'm trying something new. I'm making some small shavings with this SP8, Ontario SP8. And the grind on this blade is, yeah, you can see right there, it did okay. I mean, that's all I really need. But the grind on it doesn't really dig into the wood. But at the same time, this wood is like, it almost slides on the wood. This knife did a lot, but you had to really dig in. And if you saw, I was going back and forth with short strokes to really get the most out of it. So this is my little feather sticks that we're going to make. All right, now, first part, we're going to get the fire kit out of this survival rig, or should I say cold weather survival rig. All right, I got the Ziploc bag. First thing's a space blanket, which I need to put that in a different spot. Ferro rod with magnesium bar on it. There I have, that's my Trioxane fuel. And here is my fire kit in an Altoids can with some rubber Ranger bands around it. And I got multiple sources on starting fire in here, but right now we're going to use rubber. Oh, there I am in my signal mirror. There we got a match. And then we got the striker right here on the side. Alright, let's get this fire started. It's actually pretty windy today too, so the wind wasn't helping very much. That's why I like these storm matches, that's a Yuko stormproof match. It worked great. And you know what's really even crazy is this hedgewood. It's a hard wood, but man, this stuff, it's real. It just shreds. It's real. It has fine fibers in it. So when it lights up good. Okay, guys. Now you saw how that fire kit works with this cold weather survival rig. Now we're going to go ahead and go through each component on here, and we'll give you a little tabletop review. How's that sound? Okay, I'll go over the components of this right here. This is my personal cold weather survival rig, and I am using a USGI US Military LC-2 Y harness system, which has the quick release pistol belt here. There's different styles of these, and I had the quick release one, which I really like this one better than the buckles. So we'll just start, you know what, let's just go ahead and start with the canteens. So here I have one US Arctic canteen, and here I have another US Arctic canteen. I have two of them. The reason why I have two is because you want to have water source. That's your main concern, is having water. And I picked the Arctic canteen because it is made for cold weather. And it's just military surplus and it's awesome. So let's go ahead and take this out of its pouch and let's talk about this Arctic canteen here. Okay, so we have the Arctic canteen, and this is a US military product. I don't believe they use these anymore, but this is a double-walled canteen, and from what I've read online is that the outside is aluminum, or and the inside is stainless steel, or it's vice versa. But there's two walls to this, and that's how it insulates it. So you want to be able to cook with this. You want to be able to have it over fire. Now, the shape of it's really cool. I like it. It's comfortable in my hands. And I think we're going to do a test video of these here eventually. I'm going to leave it out overnight and see how well the water stays not freezing in it. But I think it will eventually freeze. With that said, this one is US Wyatt 82. So this is from 1982. You probably won't be able to see it there on camera, but they say it right there. Now, something else that I learned, these caps here, they're a plunger cap. And that actually brought out the whole seal this time. Whoa. Oh, wow. So yeah, that wasn't supposed to happen, but the seal came out with it too, which the seals come off. But I'm not sure why that's sticking on there. Oh, there we go. Okay. So there's the plunger part. These are made to come off because you gotta clean them. So I just cleaned these actually recently. But if you look on the caps here, I just learned, yeah, you see cracks there on them. And I thought they were broken, but I saw a person online talking about these, and they were told that this is how they come out of the factory. They're not cracked. It's the way they're made to expand. So that's kind of good news, because there is a conversion kit where you put the NBC plastic caps on here, which I have. I thought I was going to have to eventually do that. But yes, for my cold weather survival rig, these are the canteens that I picked. Now there is also another version that came out after these. These have been used for like 30, 40 some years. So these are tried and tested. And there's another one called the cold weather canteen. It's a military one. There was only so many of those made. You can find them online. Absolutely ridiculous, like over $100, and you don't even get the canteen cup that comes with it. So yeah. I'll stick with these. These are like $20 to $30. These are like $20 to $30 online, so I'll stick with these. Now, also with that said, inside of that pouch I have a bandana, And it comes with its canteen as well, which is like the US, this is well, it's like the US military's canteen for their regular water bottles, but it's just a little bit shorter. But this one's pretty nice too, so you guys see me use this in videos. So both my canteens have these in them as well, and I have a bandana for filtering out water if I need be. And in my first aid kit's got my water purification tablets. So there's my water source for the cold weather rig. So let's move on to the next stuff. Okay, so we looked at the canteens real fast. You already saw this is my SP8, Ontario SP8. This is basically my cutting tool, my large cutting tool, along with the Silky big boy, because you need this for cold weather because you can cut big logs. Okay, so should we do this or this? Okay, let's go ahead and look in here. All right, this is a East German gas mask bag. Let me get it open here. Get the camera stuff out. Okay, inside here, extra pair of gloves. This was also where I'd store my my food and everything. Here I have a BCB Dragon or BCB International and Dragon stove with hexamine and trioxane fuel for cooking, and we'll make some coffee with that here in a little bit. But also inside here, spoon and fork, spork, whatever you want to call it. I have a 9x12 drop cloth sheath, and we'll get to what that is here in a second. And along with some peanut butter, my food, smoke grenade for signaling. I have a video on those too you can check out. I'll put a link up on the screen. Some oatmeal. You can pretty much store whatever food you guys want to store in here. I just have stored in here what I'm going to be using today. So, and then I also have bungee cord and a multi-tool. Okay, before we talk about the plastic sheeting and stuff, I want to also show you one more thing. This is a US military butt pack, I believe it's called, and it sits right in the center. And inside of here I have my sleeping system for emergencies, because you gotta understand, this is a cold weather rig. This isn't going to be anything comfortable. But I made this rig as comfortable as I could, and we'll get into that here in a minute. Inside here I have a Helixon-Tex poncho. I already have my paracord wrapped to it. And then I have a poncho liner blanket in here as well. It's a real military issue one. And it's actually got a sewn in hole that Angel put in for me to where it is a poncho along with this much easier. Okay, so let's go back over here. I'm going to talk to you about this poncho, this whoopee blanket, this drop cloth, the space blanket, and what these bungees are for. Okay, so we have the poncho set up. We have the poncho liner in the bag still. I'm not going to pull it out. And bungee cords, we'll talk about here in a minute. Space blanket, drop cloth. Okay, so this is a cold weather survival rig. Okay, so I can't really carry like a tent. I can't carry a bunch of gear. I can't carry a 40 below or 0 degree down sleeping bag. Okay, so for my sleep system, I have a poncho liner and I have the poncho. I can combine these two together and make a sleeping bag. Is that going to keep me warm in cold weather? Heck no, I'm going to freeze. But here's the kicker to that. There is a Morris Kahansky shelter that I believe he invented or he just innovated. And there's a YouTube videos on it. It's called a super shelter. But you basically, and a lot of people have done these videos already, but my idea behind this, because this is cold weather, is that I have my poncho liner, my poncho to make my sleeping bag, and then I have this plastic sheeting here, a 9x12 1 milliliter sheeting, along with the space blanket, and I can have a ridge line, and I can make me a lean-to with the space blanket and with this. Now, what happens is you put this over your ridge line, and you just basically you're making a super shelter or tent, and you have your space blanket that's also part on your ridge line as well, and this goes over it, and you make a fire, a long fire, in front of your shelter. And what happens is all that heat goes through this plastic sheeting and it gets trapped inside that shelter, and it reflects off your space blanket. So if I have this sleeping bag and poncho and whatever clothes I have on and have that shelter and get inside there in really cold conditions, I would be much better off than just sleeping in a space blanket out in the cold inside just a wood shelter. So that was my idea for my sleep system. And I think eventually we are going to do a video, an overnighter, using this kit. So that's going to be interesting. I'm going to wait till it warms up just a little bit to see how it actually works. But I think it's going to work very well. I've seen some videos on people making these shelters, and like I said, it's Morris Kohansky. So he's like the father of bushcraft. So yeah, I'm pretty sure it's a good system. But with that said, if that's not the case, then I also have for shelter also the poncho, and I can also use 2 bungees, which I never saw this before, but another channel called Grunt Proof. He is a military man, but he used these bungee cords, and probably learned in the military, I'm sure, because he's military, but to make an A-frame and set up a shelter just using these on both sides. Instead of running a ridge line, you just put these on both middle grommets on your USGI poncho, and it's just real fast and real quick. So I always carry 2 of these now. So that's a really cool setup. I like that setup. It really inspired me to do something like that. So I have 2 ways of making shelter for cold weather. Well, the first one was more for cold weather. All right, let's move on to the next one. Okay, so we've covered this bag, both the canteens, my butt pack. Let's go ahead and cover this bag. This is an AK-47, East German AK-47 mag pouch with 4 mags. I've just made it into something else. So there's my fire kit. You already saw that. I keep my headlamp in here. Extra batteries. And right here, I have my first aid kit, plus I have sewing material in here as well. Some nylon thread. You never know when you might need to stitch yourself up. Got needles in here. Got this container from my friend John. I have some iodine for water purification and wounds. Tape, gauze, chapstick. It's winter time. Got a thimble for sewing. And some extra large band-aids. Pretty simple kit, nothing too extraordinary. In here I have Paracord, some trip wire, snare wire, Gorilla Tape, and I have a BCB International, I think it's the BCB International brand, commando saw. And that is it for that pack. Moving on to the front harness part. Here I have a U.S. military ASEK aircraft survival egress knife, I believe is the name for it. Let's just go ahead and look. Let's just go ahead and look at it. So here it is. It's the ASEK. I believe I said that right, but it's an aircraft. It's a pilot's It's an aircraft knife that a pilot would keep, and the sawback on the back. The sawback on the back is, I mean, you can do notches with it, but it's made for cutting yourself out of an airplane. Basically cutting aluminum is what I've learned, but it's a nice knife, man. I mean, this thing, it feels really good in the hands, and it's multi-use. You know, you can make a spear. If you see the holes there, right there on both sides. I believe it's full tang. It's got a giant pommel here on the back, so you can hit stuff, break it, cut. Sharp. The blade is probably 4 inches long. I didn't need a big one, just something I carve with, do different tasks with. Does have serrations on the bottom, that doesn't bother me. But it's multi-use, so that sits on my front shoulder strap there. So that is the U.S. military ASEK knife made by Ontario. So with that said, I have a carving knife and whatever kind of knife I need to use it for. Then I have my batoner, and then I have my saw. So that's all I need to make fire, and whatever else projects I need to do. Then moving along on the other portion here. Okay, I had one hand. We have my compass and signal mirror here. I keep it in this protective case. Got my Silva compass, And I might eventually upgrade to something a little more heavier duty. We'll see. I did have this originally in my M70 jacket, but inside here, protect this too, we have the signal mirror. Okay guys, we're gonna do some coffee, and I wanted to show you this as part of my kit also. This is the BCB International Fire Dragon stove, it's called. And I was able to wrap with rubber bands, some USGI matches, along with some Trioxane fuel on the outside. And this is British military also. This is made for the British military. Have you guys seen the Esbits? It's kind of like the Esbit stoves, but it has a windscreen, which is right here. And I can also, I got some Esbit Trioxane fuel stored in there. You can't really cook a huge meal, something like this, but it comes in handy for fire starter and for just making some cup of joe. So it's got an out, or I'm sorry, yeah, out right there. So that would go on the outside, and it just basically, real simple. And then you just fold these down like that. And you got your windscreen, and you just put your fuel tablets right there. Okay, now one issue I do want to mention about this Canteen cup here. Now it's, you know, it's mid-20s today, so I've just been kind of using my gloves here and there. Now if you were in below 0 temperatures, this little piece right here, you see it right there on the on this Canteen, it's hard to get that to slide behind here. I don't think you could do that. I don't think you could slide that on behind there like that. See how I got behind there now with gloves? And you got to think about that also, you know, for cold weather. I might need to modify something, because you might not be able to take your gloves off for that time. It might be, I mean, you would, but then you're taking a chance to stick your hands in, especially if it's like 30 below 0. Not that it ever gets that cold here, but some Nescafe espresso. It's probably been about 15 minutes. And I've got 2 cubes on there, so that's why I was saying these don't go real fast, so, but they are nice to have. My camera just went off, the battery died on me. Smells good too. I got some USGI creamer right here, so we're gonna throw that in there too. Well, that's pretty much the overview review of the cold weather rig that I put together. So I hope you enjoyed the video. Now I must say that, you know, this is going to change from time to time. You know, I might have an extra pair of socks more than likely in that gas mask bag, because I actually have quite a bit more room in that bag. And I can also put my down booties in there. For me, I need something to keep my feet warm, because my first thing to get cold on me is my feet and my fingers, but more so my feet, especially when I'm sleeping. So For me, I'd probably throw some down booties in there that which I could compress, but also I'd have room for some gloves, and majority of it would be also food in there. I have enough room for a huge MRE in that gas mask bag. There's a lot of room in that thing, but I don't have any MREs right now that are edible. Well, I do, but they're in pieces. They're not like the whole meal. So, but when we do an overnighter using this, which I'm hoping to do soon, not this Wednesday, but we will do one. I have an MRE to eat. I just don't have them because they're so expensive now. They're like 20 bucks for a meal. That's insane. I'm not gonna spend $20. It's crazy. Yeah. Anyways, so it's been about 20 minutes. I got the BCB cooker still going, and it's still flaming away there. But I am glad that I used 2 cubes on that, because this thing took 15-20 minutes just to get. Well, you can see right there. So. Pretty cool setup, guys. I put a lot of thought in this kit. Like I said, it's nothing comfortable, so it's not. I mean, I can get as comfortable as I can, and that's mainly with my shelter and sleep system. That's the best thing I could come up with to be comfortable in this cold weather. So, yeah, just something I'll carry with me in my car. I carry with me on the trail, maybe day hikes. You never know. So it's a good system. Might be a good system for you guys too to keep with you or keep in your car. So, all right, I'm not gonna bore you guys with just talking. So I'm gonna finish this coffee and we'll get back. We'll get heading out of here. For some reason it feels tighter. I might need to lose a little weight. Okay, guys, we are out of here. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope when I get home, my videos are gonna show up on my editing software. We're gonna find out. And so yeah, hope you enjoyed that video, guys. Maybe I'll see you Wednesday after work. Maybe not, we'll see. If not, I'll see you soon. So make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Make sure you hit that notification bell. And yeah, I'll see you guys soon. And once again, thank you guys. And thank you to all my new subs. So we'll see you soon. God bless and take care. Oh, if you have any questions about my survival rig, if I left anything out, make sure you leave your comments below. Let me know what you thought. All right, take care, guys. Bye.